Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that doesn't always get enough attention, but it really should. Hygiene habits as we get older. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Hygiene? Come on, that's common sense. But here's the thing. What used to be simple in our 30s, 40s, or even 50s can start to feel a little trickier in our 60s, 70s, and beyond. Energy levels shift, our bodies change, and sometimes those little routines like showering, brushing teeth, or changing clothes get pushed aside. But here's the truth. Good hygiene is about so much more than just looking clean or smelling fresh. It's about protecting your health, keeping your confidence, and even showing the people around you that you care about yourself and them. So in this video, we're breaking down 5 common hygiene mistakes that doctors say many older adults make without even realizing it. These aren't things that happen because people are lazy. Most of the time, they happen because routines shift, or something that used to feel easy now feels a little harder. But the good news? Every single one of these mistakes is fixable, and by paying attention to them, you'll not only feel better physically, you'll also feel more comfortable in your relationships, in public, and even just at home relaxing on the couch. So grab a cup of tea, sit back, and let's dive in. Mistake number 1, not showering. Often enough, as people age, daily routines naturally change. Some feel less energetic, less active, or maybe they deal with physical limitations that make showering more of a challenge. For example, getting in and out of the shower can feel risky if balance isn't what it used to be. For others, it's more of a mindset. I don't go to work anymore, I'm not outside sweating like I used to, so do I really need to bathe every day? At first glance, it makes sense, right? But here's the important truth. Even when you're not physically active, your body is still working 24/7. It produces sweat, natural oils, and dead skin cells every single day. When those build up, they don't just sit quietly on your skin, they create odor. And here's something many people don't know. As we age, our skin actually changes. It becomes thinner, more delicate, and sometimes drier. But at the same time, it also produces certain compounds that mix with natural oils. These compounds create what's sometimes called aging odor. This isn't just a faint smell. It can linger on clothes, on bedding, even on furniture. And the less often you bathe, the stronger it becomes. Why doctors care about this? Doctors stress that bathing isn't just about smelling nice. It's about health. Think about areas like under the arms, between the toes, or the folds of the skin. These warm, moist spots are breeding grounds for bacteria. And bacteria are what create strong odors. If these spots aren't cleaned regularly, bacteria multiply, and that doesn't just cause smell, it can lead to rashes, skin irritation, and even infections. For seniors, whose skin is already more fragile, this can make life very uncomfortable. A real-life example, take Robert, a 72-year-old retiree. He thought, well, I'm home most days. I don't sweat much anymore, so skipping a shower won't matter. But over time, his family began noticing a musty odor whenever he sat on the couch or hugged them. At first, no one wanted to say anything because, let's face it, that's an awkward conversation. But eventually, his daughter gently brought it up. Robert decided to start showering every other day instead of just once or twice a week. He also made sure to put on fresh clothes afterward. Within a week, not only did the smell fade, his confidence came back. He felt more comfortable being close to people again, and his family noticed a huge difference. Practical tips now. Let's be real. Not everyone has the energy or mobility to shower every single day. And that's okay. The key isn't perfection, it's consistency. If daily bathing feels like too much, aim for every other day. Use a bath chair or shower bench if standing for long periods feels unsafe. Try handheld shower heads. They make it easier to rinse without moving too much. And in between full showers, you can always do sponge baths, just wiping down with a warm washcloth, focusing on underarms, feet, and groin. What matters most is keeping a habit of cleansing your body regularly. That way, sweat, oils, and bacteria don't have the chance to build up. The takeaway, by staying on top of bathing, you're not just protecting your skin. You're telling yourself and others that you value your well-being. You're maintaining dignity, confidence, and the comfort of feeling truly fresh. So mistake number 1, not showering often enough. It may seem small, but fixing it can completely change the way you feel day to day. If you're still watching, let me know in the comments. Have you ever noticed how skipping just a couple of showers makes a big difference? Comment +1 below so I know you're here. And of course, if you haven't already, hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss the rest of this series. Mistake number 2, wearing the same clothes. Too many times, here's another hygiene habit that sneaks up on people: re-wearing the same clothes too often without washing them. Now, let's be honest, when you're mostly at home, not going out as much, it can feel harmless to put on yesterday's shirt again. You might think, it looks clean, it doesn't smell to me, why bother? And for many older adults, there are practical reasons too. Doing laundry takes energy. Lifting baskets, bending, and folding can feel tiring. Or maybe you're trying to save on water and electricity. Totally understandable, right? But here's the truth. Clothes pick up more sweat, skin oils, and odors than we realize. Even if you don't smell it, other people can. What happens to clothes over time? Every day, your skin releases tiny amounts of sweat and oils. Fabrics like cotton, wool, and synthetics soak them up quickly, especially in high-contact areas like underarms, collars, waistbands, and socks. At first, you may not notice, but after a day or two, those oils and bacteria get trapped in the fibers. And once that happens, clothes start giving off a stale, musty, or even sour smell. It's even more noticeable in warmer weather if you sweat, or if you spend a lot of time sitting in the same chair or lying in bed. Doctors warn that this isn't just about odor. Clothes that stay in contact with your body, especially undergarments, socks, and shirts, can trap bacteria and fungi. If worn too long, they can cause skin rashes, itching yeast or fungal infections, breakouts, or irritation. So wearing the same outfit too many days in a row isn't just a style issue, it's a health risk. Real-life example. Let's talk about Linda. An 80-year-old grandmother, Linda had a favorite cardigan that she wore almost every day. It was soft, cozy, and familiar, like a comfort blanket. But after a while, her daughter noticed something. Even though Linda was bathing regularly, the sweater had developed its own smell. It clung to her even right after a shower. At first, Linda didn't think it was a big deal. But once she started rotating her clothes more often, washing her tops and undergarments after each wear and letting sweaters air out between uses, the difference was night and day. The odor faded, her skin felt better, and she actually noticed she was more comfortable around others. Practical tips here are some simple strategies that make this easier. Undergarments and socks, change them daily. These sit closest to your skin and pick up sweat and bacteria fastest. Shirts and tops, wash after each wear if possible. If laundry is tough, have a few extras so you can rotate. Pants and sweaters, these can sometimes be worn 2 to 3 times, but air them out between uses. If they start smelling even faintly, it's time to wash. Laundry hacks. If laundry feels overwhelming, try smaller loads more often instead of waiting for one huge pile. Or consider having a loved one, neighbor, or laundry service help out. And here's a little secret. Clean clothes aren't just about hygiene. They actually change how you feel. Slipping into something fresh can lift your mood, make you feel more put together, and even help with confidence. The takeaway: wearing the same clothes too many times in a row might seem harmless, but it quietly affects your health, comfort, and the way others perceive you. Fresh clothes send a message to the world and to yourself that you value your health and appearance. So mistake number 2? Not changing clothes often enough. It's simple, but it makes a world of difference. If you're still with me, comment number 2 below to let me know you made it this far. And if you're finding this helpful, give the video a like. It really helps us keep creating content that supports you. Mistake number 3, forgetting proper dental care now. Let's talk about one of the most overlooked and, honestly, one of the most surprising sources of odor as we age: the mouth. When most people think about hygiene, they think showers, deodorant, clean clothes. But they forget that oral hygiene is just as important, if not more. And here's the thing: bad breath in later life isn't just a small social problem. It can actually be a warning sign that something deeper is going on. Why oral hygiene declines with age: doctors say that oral care often slips as we get older, but not always by choice. Arthritis can make brushing and flossing physically harder. Medications often dry out the mouth. And saliva is your body's natural defense against bacteria. With less saliva, bacteria multiply quickly. Dentures can be another issue. They need daily cleaning and soaking, but sometimes people skip it, thinking a quick rinse is enough. All of these things add up, and the result is unpleasant odor that lingers when you speak, breathe, or even smile. Why this really matters: here's the big one. Poor dental hygiene isn't just about bad breath. Doctors have found strong links between oral health and serious conditions like heart disease, stroke, and diabetes complications. That means what starts as a smell could actually be a signal that something more serious is happening inside your body. A real-life example. Let me share Robert's story. Robert is 72. He was pretty good about bathing and wearing fresh clothes, but when it came to brushing and flossing, well, he got a little lazy. He brushed once a day, but flossing, he thought it was tedious and skipped it. Over time, his family started noticing his breath was constantly unpleasant. At first, they didn't want to embarrass him, but eventually his granddaughter asked why his mouth always smelled funny. That stung a bit, so Robert went to the dentist. And here's what he learned. He had advanced gum disease that had been silently damaging his health. The good news? With treatment and better daily habits, brushing twice a day, flossing once a day, and using mouthwash, things improved dramatically. Not only did his breath get fresher, but his risk of other health problems went down too. Practical tips for better oral care: brush twice a day. Morning and night, at least 2 minutes each. Floss daily. Yes, it takes effort, but it makes a massive difference in removing food and bacteria between teeth. Mouthwash helps. An antibacterial rinse keeps bacteria under control and gives extra freshness. Dentures need care too. Clean them daily and soak them overnight to prevent odor and buildup. Regular dental visits. Even if you don't have all your natural teeth anymore, checkups help catch problems early. The takeaway: fresh breath isn't just about smelling nice. It's about comfort, confidence, and protecting your overall health. When your mouth feels clean, you smile more, you talk more freely, and you don't have to worry about whether people are pulling away because of odor. So mistake number 3, forgetting proper dental care. Fixing this one doesn't just freshen your breath, it protects your whole body. If you're still watching, type number 3 in the comments so I know you're with me. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, because trust me, you don't want to miss the next 2 mistakes. Mistake number 4, neglecting foot. Care: here's one that a lot of people don't think about, but trust me, it matters more than you realize. Foot hygiene. Feet are one of the most common sources of body odor, especially in older adults. Yet they're also one of the most neglected areas when it comes to daily care. Most people assume that because feet are covered with socks and shoes, the smell is contained. But in reality, covering them doesn't stop the odor, it just traps it. And when that odor lingers, it can cling to shoes, carpets, even the couch you like to put your feet up on. Why feet smell? Feet have thousands of sweat glands. They produce sweat just like any other part of the body. When that sweat mixes with bacteria and dead skin cells, it creates a strong, lasting smell. As we age, mobility issues can make it harder to reach down and wash feet thoroughly. Some people skip drying between the toes because it feels awkward. Others don't notice toenail problems, like fungus, until the smell becomes obvious. And here's something important. Wearing the same socks too many times, or shoes that don't breathe, makes the problem much worse. Synthetic socks and tight shoes trap moisture, which bacteria and fungi absolutely love. Why doctors care about this? Doctors emphasize that foot odor isn't just about embarrassment, it can actually be a warning sign. Poor circulation, diabetes-related issues, or infections can all start in the feet. What looks like a small problem, a little odor, cracked heels, or nail fungus, can turn into something serious if ignored. A small cut on the foot can easily become infected. For someone with diabetes, that can even lead to dangerous complications. A real-life example. Let's talk about Helen, a 78-year-old woman who had arthritis in her hands. Because of the pain, she often skipped trimming her toenails or washing her feet carefully. Over time, she developed a fungal infection that caused a strong odor. She felt embarrassed when her friends invited her to social gatherings, and she avoided situations where she had to take her shoes off. Eventually, her daughter stepped in and helped her set up regular podiatrist visits. Helen also switched to breathable cotton socks and started rotating her shoes. Within weeks, the odor improved dramatically, and so did her confidence. Practical tips for foot care: wash daily. A quick scrub with soap and warm water does wonders. Don't forget to dry carefully, especially between the toes. Fresh socks. Change socks every day. Go for cotton or moisture-wicking materials instead of synthetics. Air out shoes. Don't wear the same pair every day. Give them a chance to dry completely. Toenail care. Trim regularly or ask a podiatrist if it's hard to do yourself. Moisturize heels. Dry, cracked skin can become painful or infected if ignored. The takeaway: feet may be out of sight, but they shouldn't be out of mind. Clean, fresh feet mean comfort, confidence, and better health overall. Neglecting them can not only create odor, but also open the door to infections and bigger health problems. So, mistake number 4, neglecting foot care. Don't let something small become a big issue. If you're still watching, drop a number 4 in the comments so I know you've made it this far. And if this is hitting home, give the video a like. It really helps us keep making content like this. Mistake number 5, ignoring bedding and towels now. Let's talk about something most people don't realize has such a big impact on personal hygiene: your bedding and your towels. Think about it. Every night, you spend 6, 7, maybe even 8 hours lying in your bed. Your sheets, pillowcases, and blankets are in constant contact with your skin. Towels are the same. You use them right after showering, when your body is warm and slightly damp. And here's the thing, even if they look clean, these fabrics are quietly absorbing sweat, skin oils, and dead skin cells, night after night, day after day. Over time, that buildup creates a musty, stale odor that clings to your body, even right after you bathe. It's subtle at first, but it becomes noticeable, especially to visitors or family members. Why doctors warn about this? Doctors remind us that unwashed linens and towels don't just smell. They can actually become breeding grounds for bacteria, fungi, and even dust mites. That means higher risk of skin irritation or rashes breakouts or itchiness respiratory issues, especially if you already deal with allergies or asthma. So if you're showering regularly but still noticing a lingering odor, the problem might not be your body. It could be your bedding or your towels. A real-life example. Let's take James, a 75-year-old widower. James admitted to washing his sheets only once a month. At first, he didn't notice any issue. But over time, his daughter began pointing out that his home had a stale smell that seemed to follow him. When James finally changed his pillowcases twice a week and his sheets once a week, the difference was incredible. Not only did his bedroom smell fresher, but visitors noticed that he smelled fresher too. That simple change boosted his confidence and made his home feel more inviting. Practical tips for bedding and towels, sheets, and pillowcases. Wash at least once a week. If that feels like too much, have extra sets so you can swap them quickly. Towels. Change every 2 to 3 uses. Remember, towels stay damp longer than clothes, which makes them perfect breeding grounds for bacteria. Blankets and comforters. Wash every few weeks or at least once a season, depending on how much you use them. Laundry hacks. If washing is tiring, break it into smaller loads. Or ask family members to help by swapping out the linens. You can fold and put them away later when you feel up to it. The takeaway: clean bedding and towels are about more than freshness. They directly affect how comfortable you feel in your own home. Fresh linens mean better sleep, better skin, and a lighter, more refreshing environment. So mistake number 5, ignoring bedding and towels. It's one of the easiest fixes you can make for instant improvement in hygiene and overall well-being. Final thoughts and outro. So, let's take a quick moment to reflect. Today we talked about 5 common hygiene mistakes that many older adults make without realizing it. Not showering often enough. Even if you're less active, your body still needs regular cleansing. Wearing the same clothes too many times. Fabrics trap sweat and bacteria faster than you. Think forgetting proper dental care. Bad breath can signal deeper health issues. Neglecting foot care. Feet may be out of sight, but they shouldn't be out of mind. Ignoring bedding and towels. Fresh linens make your whole environment feel cleaner. Now, here's the important part. None of these mistakes happen because people don't care. They happen quietly as routines shift or tasks feel harder with age. But the great news is that every single one of them is fixable. Good hygiene isn't about vanity, it's about health, dignity, and confidence. It's about making sure you feel comfortable in your own skin and that others feel comfortable around you. So ask yourself, which of these 5 stood out to you the most? Maybe you recognized 1 or 2 in yourself, or maybe you thought of a loved one who could use a gentle reminder. Here's what I'd love for you to do. Drop a comment below and share the 1 tip you plan to start using this week. Your ideas and experiences might encourage someone else watching this video. And if this helped you, please take a second to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss future content. Your support helps us keep making videos that inform, inspire, and make daily life just a little bit easier. Remember this: you are worthy of care, comfort, and respect at every stage of life. Sometimes that starts with something as simple as a fresh shower, a clean shirt, or a crisp set of sheets. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Stay fresh, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.